Hey guys, Tom Page here from Real Anglers Fly Shop in Grass Valley, California. Today I'm going to show you how to tie up a pattern called the Twisted Minnow. This is a pattern that I came up with back in the springtime. I was using it for fishing the bass up here in our foothill lakes in Northern California. Anyhow, the material that I'll be using is from Hairline Dubbing. It's the UV Ice Dub Pearl and then the Ice Dub Silver Holographic. I'll also be using natural grizzly marabou, the Living Ice from Flyman Company, and .020 lead to wrap the body. I'm going to go ahead and start the lead here. I'm going to do 20 wraps of .02 lead or lead-free wire. Now I'm going to kind of put that in the center of that hook shank. That way it, I don't know, balances a little bit better. And then we're going to take our thread here and cover up those lead wraps. I'm going to kind of space it out a little bit just to kind of speed up the process a little. Now, this is kind of a technique that I learned from a YouTube video a while back called from Jay Zimmerman, and he does this this technique for his fly called the Jesus Lizard. So we're going to do dubbing loop, and what I'm going to do is I did one loop around the hook and my finger here. And I'm going to do one more. So we got basically 4 strands of thread there. I'm going to go ahead and tie that off, wrap around that thread, that loop, kind of close up that dubbing loop a little bit. Okay, I'm going to use that to hold that in place. And what I'm going to do here is take my Pearl UV Ice Dub here, and I'm going to kind of pick it apart. What I'm going to do is try to get those fibers nice and long because it's going in a dubbing loop. I'm going to kind of spread that out a little bit. Just a little bit more to this. Okay, and I'm going to take a little bit of the holographic silver. I'm not going to take a whole lot of it. It's just basically to add a little bit of contrasting color in there. It's kind of called laminating. Steelhead guys do this for some of their intruder type flies. Anyhow, we're going to go ahead and take some dubbing wax here. Get that nice and waxed up with pretty liberal amount on there. And we're going to just slide that dubbing right into that dubbing loop. Kind of get it right in the center of that. go ahead and take our dubbing spinner here. Get everything else spread out a little bit. Alright, and then we're just going to go ahead and spin that. Brush it out. Spin it some more. You really want to get this thread tight, and that's why I do a double loop there so the thread don't break. Nothing worse than doing that. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab it kind of right at the length that I want that body to be. So that body, I want it to be about, you know, 1.5 times the length of the hook shank. And I'm just going to set that down like that. I'm going to let that go, and it's just going to kind of twist on itself. And this is where we get it. This is why I call it the twisted minnow, because kind of get that twisted body look. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and hold that there. Go ahead and do a couple wraps. Lock that into place. That thing moving, coming undone. And we're going to go ahead and wrap some thread right in the front there. Grab my brush again, and I'm going to try to brush this stuff out as much as I can and kind of utilize it. I'm going to go ahead and wrap that right around the hook shank itself. Tie that off. All right. Excuse me for a second, I forgot to grab something. A couple other materials that I'll be using for the head and the belly here is the Senyo's laser dub. We got silver minnow belly, and then white. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and pull out some of the white first. Do the same thing I did with the ice dub dubbing, is kind of pick it apart, get it to be where it's a nice long fibers like so, and that's going to go down here. I'm going to reverse the vise over. Now what I want to do is keep it kind of a little bit longer in the back, maybe like, you know, 70-30, 60-40, somewhere around there, where more fibers go to the back than forward. And we're going to go ahead and tie that in right here. I'm going to grab the silver minnow belly, and this is actually going on the top, not on the belly. Even though it's called minnow belly, it's going to go on as a back. Kind of the same thing where I'm going to pull that fiber apart, get it nice and straight, long fibers. And I don't want to use a whole lot of materials. I don't want it to be a big, fat, bulky head. It's a minnow. It's not a bluegill or anything like that. So a lot of guys put too much of this stuff on. I'll shorten some of this stuff up. And then this here, kind of the same way, where I'm going to have a little bit more hanging out the back than the front. So it's going to be kind of 60-40, 70-30, somewhere around there. I'm going to set that right up on top. A couple wraps. And then we're going to go ahead and take this stuff here, the Minnows laser dub, and pull it back. And we want to kind of keep it on the top and bottom. We don't want it on the sides. I don't want it to be fat, a wide, thick body. I want it to be more of a taller profile body, which will eventually squish down when it's starting to swim and when you're fishing it. So now that I got that on there, I'm going to take my dubbing brush here, and I'm going to go ahead and brush out any of that loose fibers that's in there. Don't worry, you could always reuse any of this stuff. Sometimes it makes better dubbing. Alright, so then I'm going to take my grizzly marabou here. I'm just going to, I want a fair amount. I don't want too much where it's overwhelming, but I want it to be about 3/4 of the length of the body. There is where this is how long it's gonna be. I might have to add a little bit more just for thickness, or for Alright, as you can see, looks like a pretty cool little minnow. I'm going to add just a tad bit more of this grizzly marabou. How's it going? You're gonna have to excuse me. I'm doing a fly tying video here.
Oh, well, maybe I can learn something.
All right, now we're gonna go ahead and whip finish it. Then we're going to go ahead and take these living eyes and glue these on.
Hi,
How's it going, guys?
Forgot your Otis on.
Forgot it on? I didn't turn it on?
We almost drove away.
Just doing a tie-in video here real quick. So.
Oh, sorry for interrupting.
It's all right.
Shoot.
You doing some balance stuff or just a little strip and fly?
Just a little strip and fly.
Cool.
I have some big eyes here.
I love that stuff. The Terramender.
Yeah.
Great for eyes.
Great for eyes. Oh, too much. For those of you that know Dan LeConte, that's him talking to me in the background there. He just came in to harass me with his girlfriend who gets mad at me all the time.
Yeah, like when he forgets to turn the open sign on.
Thank God Dan showed up. I'd have never known my sign was off.
Yeah, those are solid. Yeah, I mean, just packs as general, so it's good to have stock.
So, there it is. Let those eyes sit and dry up. Tom's Twisted Minnow. The eye's still on there. So, there it is. Good luck.